Hello, my name's Lisa, and in today's video I'd like to share with you why I dislike the MLM business model so much. Now, obviously I'm aware that the MLM industry has been around for more than 70 years, and that means that millions of people work in it, purchase products from MLMs, and physically love the MLM business model, but I'm not one of those people. I'm also aware that me saying that I'm anti-MLM may elicit some unfavourable comment, but hey, that's okay, because everyone is entitled to their opinion, and we cannot all agree on everything, can we? Right? One thing I want to say before I go any further, I have been involved with two different MLM companies, but the more I learned about the way they worked, the more discouraged and outraged I became. I'm also aware that I'm not the only person who is anti-MLM. There are lots of other anti-MLM videos on YouTube, and there are anti-MLM blog posts and Facebook groups. I also know that some people inside the MLM industry feel trapped, and I'm hoping that this video is going to show you why it's not such a good idea to stay in that position. And also I'm hoping it will help you to understand that there are ways to get out of it and stay out forever. I don't know about you, but when I was recruited to join an MLM, I was pretty much told to contact 100 people that I knew and try and get them to join it. But I didn't actually feel comfortable with that business practice. So it wasn't something that I did very often. In fact, I only did it a few times, and being more experienced now, I always know when someone out of the blue sends me a friend request on Facebook and then sends me a "Hey girl" message, "How are you?" I always know what's going to come next, and majoritively I just don't even reply to the first message, because I know that they're going to ask me to take a look at their business opportunity, and they're going to big it up, and they're going to tell me how wonderful it is. And to be honest, I'm really not interested, so I just don't take any notice of those messages anymore. And when I started in the MLM, that's what they were trying to get me to do. But basically I did it a few times, got a few knockbacks, and that was it. I was just like, no, I'm not doing this. I didn't mind selling the product, but there was no way I wanted to recruit anybody. And the problem is, when you're in an MLM, you are surrounded by your upline, and they encourage you to break off friendships and stop talking to negative people. Well, everybody has negative friends, and everyone has negative members of their family, so they're basically telling you to stop being friends with your own family. Well, do you ever stop to think about why are they saying that to you? Because after a while, I started to ask why. And to be honest, I didn't like the answer. It was because they were trying to keep me in a bubble where I was completely surrounded by people in an MLM who were all giving me advice. But that was only their opinion. That didn't mean it was right. And I was told not to question them. And to be honest, being in the bubble is not a good place to be at all. And one of the reasons that MLM companies do this is because it makes it harder for you to leave. It makes it so that you don't think for yourself anymore. And basically, once they've got you into that position, they've got you exactly where they want you. At the end of the day, your upline, all they see is that you are a money-making machine for them. So if you do recruit people and get your own team, and you also sell the products then at the end of the day, who's going to benefit the most? Of course, your upline. I'm going to share with you a few other reasons why I really dislike MLM. They have lawsuits filed against them. If you actually take notice of the compensation plan, you will see that most people are still on position 1. Why do people at the top of MLMs leave? And also how difficult it is to get to the top. So those 4 points are what I'm going to expand on. Before I do that, I just want to make it clear that all of these opinions are totally my own. They have been formed by research into MLM practices. And to be honest, if you are in an MLM, I don't blame you for joining, because I know how they get you to do it. I know that they make wild promises to you of it's really easy to do and it's really easy to earn money and it's super simple to talk to people and all of the other spiel that they come out with. So I understand why you are in it. If you enjoy it and you're good at it and you earn money, then good luck to you. But a lot of people don't enjoy it, don't earn any money and end up in debt. And those are the things that I want to discuss, how that happened. And I'm sure the promises that were made to you when you joined it were the same ones that were made to me by the people that got me involved. But their promises didn't come to fruition for me. And I also know a huge amount of other people who have got involved in MLMs and ended up seriously in debt because they believed everything that was told to them. And it's not the people in MLMs that are the problem, it's the business structure itself. That's where the issue lies. So maybe you're not going to like what I'm going to say in this video, but that's fine. If you've got this far and you don't like what I'm going to say next, then just switch off. If you want to learn more about the MLM industry and why I am so against it, then please keep on watching. I do believe in free speech, so if you do watch this video all the way through and you don't agree with what I've said, then let me know in the comments. I'm not going to castigate you. Whatever you say is your opinion, and that's okay. And I'm happy for you to leave comments on this video, good or bad. So the first thing I want to discuss is, what is an MLM? Well, basically, in a nutshell, it's a multi-level marketing company where you have products that you can sell, and also you can recruit new people to join your team. So I'm just going to put up on the screen now the FTC's definition of an MLM so you can read that. And the other reason why I'm so against MLMs is it has been studied for many years, and I'm just going to show you some other facts and figures that I'm going to put on the screen now. And the most important figure on there is the 99% of people. And the reason it's so important is because if you go down a little bit further, you can see that that is the percentage of people that end up losing money in an MLM. So why do people end up losing money? Well, they have to pay to join. A lot of MLM companies give you a website and they charge you a fee each year for using that website. And then you have to buy a kit, or you have to buy some starter products. So they can cost you anywhere from as little as $50 to $60, and in the case of some MLMs, up to $7,000. So you can imagine someone who's just bought a starter kit for $7,000, pretty much most of that money is not going to have come from their savings, it's going to have come from a credit card. So that's where the troubles begin. And then to remain active in MLMs, you have to keep up a certain PV every month, which is a personal volume. So that means that you're having to buy products every month just to be able to stay in the MLM. So if you're not managing to recruit anybody, then you're actually paying every single month to stay in it. If you do recruit people and they start recruiting others and selling the product, then obviously that is going to help you out and it's going to pay you money. But if you don't recruit enough, or they don't recruit enough and they don't sell enough of the product, then you're still losing money. I mean, don't think I'm so naive that everything's going to start straight away for you, because it's not. It's the same with any business. You've got to give it a good year to even think about making a profit. And yet you'll see people on MLM training calls and sales calls and Zoom calls where they're all saying, oh yeah, I started 5 months ago and within 2 to 3 weeks I've made the money back from my kit. Not if you're an absolute beginner. There's no way that happens, and they are just blatantly lying, because it just doesn't work like that. If you've got experience, then yes, that can happen. If you've got a following on social media, then that can happen. But you'll see videos of people who say, I was totally against posting on social media and I was totally against the MLM industry. And then in the next breath, they're telling you that they've got 2 people in their downline, that they've jumped up to the next level and they've made money. Well, you have to ask yourself if that's true. So you've been in the company for, say, 6 months and you haven't made any money at all, and you speak to other people who are thinking about joining, and then what are you going to do? Are you going to lie to them and say that, yeah, you have made money just so they'll join your team? Because believe me, that's what a lot of them do, and that's another reason why I dislike MLMs so much. My next point is the people that these MLM companies recruit, and they tend to be vulnerable people. So they target students who don't know any better and they get them to join. They also target people who are anxious and depressed, and they tell them that this is a wonderful business and that the products that they're going to be promoting are going to help with their anxiety and their depression. But at the end of the day, they're not doctors, they're not health professionals, they don't have any right to tell you that this product is going to help you with whatever condition you've got, because at the end of the day, they're not qualified. And also ask yourself, if these lotions and potions and pills and packets were so amazing, then why aren't doctors telling you to take them? Why aren't they sold on the shelves of your local store? Those are questions that you need to ask yourself before you join an MLM. The worst part of an MLM is the compensation plan. So I'm going to show you a couple of those. And what I want you to really take notice of is the percentage of people that are still on level 1. So that's obviously the beginning level. These that I'm putting on the screen now are MLM income disclosures that have actually been published by the MLM itself. Look at the percentage of the people that are at the top, so on the first level, and then look at the percentage of people on the bottom that are earning the highest amount of money, and see how small the percentage that is. Because in every MLM company that has got anyone in the top level, they could have 80,000 people in the MLM, and yet only 0.01% of people are at the top level. And that's how the MLM industry works, is by you doing all of the work and all the people at the top getting paid. And to me, that is just not fair, and it's not ethical at all. You're also going to be told that the MLM that you've just joined is not a pyramid scheme, but the FTC begs to differ. I'm going to show you a court judgment that has been brought by the FTC against certain MLM companies. And when that happens, they either get a massive fine, they get told to restructure their business model, or they get shut down completely. So what's going to happen to your business when that happens? What are you going to be left with? If it gets shut down, every single penny that you have sunk into it is gone. They also tell you when you join an MLM company that you're your own boss. But that isn't true either, because you actually work for the MLM company and there are rules and regulations inside them. And one thing I urge you to do before you join an MLM is read the small print, because there are so many things that can happen that you will get into trouble for. And believe me, MLM companies do take their distributors to court. You also have to pay to join an MLM company, as I alluded to earlier, and that's generally in the form of buying some kind of starter kit. Well, what I want to know is, if you're your own boss, how many employers have you ever paid to go and work for them? I mean, when you work for an employer, you get set hours, set holidays. If you're in the US, you get health benefits, pension benefits, and you get paid at the end of each month. When you're in an MLM, you can't even have a holiday in peace, because you're still going to be on social media and sharing things about your holiday. You're going to be saying things like, oh, I'm in Barbados now for 2 weeks, and all this was because I joined this company and I sold these products, and it's all so easy. So even when you're on holiday, you're not going to be on holiday. And it really annoys me. How many Zoom calls have you been on with your team leader and they've said that they're so burned out? That is because they absolutely work their asses off. So it's not easy at all. If people at the top are burned out, and they're probably working half the amount of hours that you are, I mean, I've got friends in MLMs and they're telling me that they work 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and they're still not making even a few $100s. And I just keep saying to them, just get out, just cut your losses, get out, do something else. There are plenty of other online businesses that you're not going to have to work that hard to earn money from. But they love the company, they love the product. And I just think they're totally mad, but then that's just my opinion. What happens when you want to leave an MLM? So at the moment, you're surrounded by this big family who all love you and all support you and tell you everything's totally wonderful. But what happens when you want to leave? What do they do to you then? They badmouth you. They tell you that you haven't worked hard enough. And when you do actually leave, they block you. They never speak to you again. So now your MLM family's gone. You've got no friends because you spent all your time trying to recruit them and they weren't interested. And you've ostracised all your family and now you're alone. What's so good about an MLM that gets you to that point? Please let me know, because I don't ever want to get to that point, and I don't want you or anybody else to get to that point, because that is just terrible. What about the free trips? The car. Oh, they're things that you can work towards and get. Well, I know people that have been on these trips and they said to me, they put me on the cheapest flight. I couldn't choose my flight time or my airline. I had to pay my own transfers, and a couple of them, they even had to buy their own food. So for the whole time that they were there, the 4 days they were there, they had to buy their own food. So what's free about that? Yeah, you got a free flight. Yeah, you got a free cheap hotel room. But you still have to spend money out of your own pocket. And I've got a friend who got a car. She is so high up in this MLM company that she got awarded the car. And then she was explaining to me how it worked. So she said to me that she had to get a specific car. She had to go to the dealership and she had to take out the loan in her name. But the MLM company would pay her the money for the payments each month. And then she said that she had to maintain that rank that she was currently on or go higher up for 4 years, and then that's how long the loan was over. But the amount of money that the MLM company was paying her wasn't enough to cover all of the payments for the car. So, am I sick, or there's just something I don't get about that? How is that a free car? Can you explain it to me? Because I just can't comprehend it. I mean, I may be blonde, but one thing I'm not is stupid. But I just don't get that. And not only that, but on the car, she couldn't choose what colour she wanted. It had to be white. And she had to have some kind of decal on there to say that it was a free car from the MLM company that she's with. So they're getting free advertising as well. The only thing that makes an MLM not totally a pyramid scheme is the fact that it's got products. But at the end of the day, if the products are superfluous and it's more about recruiting, then I don't care what anyone says. It is still a pyramid scheme, and there is every chance that the FTC will take action against your company at some point. Any legit business model does not have a downline that you have had to recruit. Now, me personally, I'm an affiliate marketer, and I didn't have to buy any product. I don't have to get anyone to join me, and yet I still earn money. I really think that as time goes on and as the FTC gets bigger and the more complaints that are pouring in every day about MLM companies and the amount of people that have lost money because they've joined them, then at some point the FTC will be shutting MLMs down. The only problem is that these people don't get put in jail, which is where most of them belong, and then they just start up a new company. So it's like a vicious circle. Another thing that I dislike about the business model is once it gets saturated, then it's very hard for anybody to earn any money, and that is why a lot of people at the top of MLMs leave and they go to another company, and it's because it's totally saturated and virtually impossible to recruit anybody else. But there's a little known fact. Most MLM companies, their compensation plans only go 12 or 13 levels deep. And the reason for that is once you get to level 14, there's nobody left on the planet to recruit because you've actually recruited everybody there is. And obviously that's never going to happen because there are lots of people who are totally against MLMs who will never ever join your company and will never ever buy your products because a lot of these products are not properly tested. They don't have the right warning that they should have on them, and they are not registered with the FDA. So therefore, a lot of people won't use them. So if you haven't joined an MLM company yet, then please don't join one. If you are in one and you are not making money, then please get out. There are so many people that you can talk to regarding getting out. There's lots of information on Google on how to do it properly. There's lots of information on YouTube. I've got a blog post all about MLMs, and I've got a small section in there which explains to you how to get out properly without them coming after you. So I'm going to leave a link to that in the description below. So if you are thinking about leaving, then that will give you the best avenue to go down to actually get out. I mean, I just think there are more ethical ways to earn money online. I wish you the best of luck. If if you are trying to get out of an MLM. I know it takes a lot of guts. I believe in you, and I believe that you can do it if you really want to. And if you have got out of an MLM, then I really commend you for taking that action. If you've got any stories or any videos of calls that you would like to share with me, then the instructions are down below in the comments of just how to do that. I really hope that this video has helped you in some way to open your eyes about why MLMs are not all they're cracked up to be. I'd like to thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.